Welcome to Shabbat Yoga, a day of rest and a day to also move your bodies and to really find space within where you're holding. So all week long in general, when we're going through life, we tend to hold on to our stress and anxiety. And so in this time that we're dealing with now with being in quarantine, I'm going to invite you on this theme of what we're talking about today on Shabbat, of finding those silent spaces. I'm going to invite you to really cultivate an inner silence as we go into our yoga poses. Cultivate the silence between the poses, because for our intention today, that is really so important, is the breath inside of the pose and the silent spaces in between the poses. The poses in yoga are really not important. All that is important is that you breathe and center your soul and find space. And so taking your hands to your heart center, if you'd like, just coming to a comfortable seat, and begin to use your breath to quiet the noise around you and inside of you. Taking a deep breath in, and then let that breath travel all the way down your toes and into the earth. Another deep inhale. And a long breath out. Allow that breath to travel even deeper into the earth's center. I like to imagine as I breathe that my breath and my center goes all the way down, like a beautiful light going all the way down into the earth's core. And inside of the earth's core is a beautiful crystal. And so when I did this meditation for myself a few days ago, I saw the earth crying. I saw deep tears, as if there was a shedding of layers and layers of pain. But then deep inside of the earth, where we can connect our breath, there's a beautiful light. Inside the pain, going down deeper beyond the tears, beyond the fears and the illness, and all the ways in which we have hurt each other and hurt the earth, all the ways in which we run, the ways in which we're too busy, too caught up in the physical, material world. There is a still, silent, small voice filled with light at the bottom and the center of the earth. And so I invite that to be our kavanah, our intention this morning as we begin yoga, as we begin our practice this morning. I invite you to create your own intention as well, just opening to your divine, your holy breath, your holy soul inside of you. So taking a deep breath and remembering that this yoga practice is for you. So going at your own perfect pace for your body. If I'm doing something that hurts or doesn't work for your body, I give options, and you can always come into child's pose. So let's start in cat-cow. Our knees are hips width distance apart. And so we may do cat-cow every single day, but every yoga class is different. Why? Because you come to the poses and to your mat a different person every day. So breathing here, letting your breath travel into the spaces in between the pose. Deep breath in. And a long breath out. Feeling your head drop. Inhale deeply. Exhale, release. 2 more times. Take a deep breath in. And a long breath out. Last time, inhale. Holding the pose for just a moment. So holding the breath. Inhale here. Feel the space in between the breath. And then exhale, let it all go. Open mouth, exhale. Taking the knees wide, toes touching. And let's come into some hip rolls. So really big, all the way back into your heels and making some big circles. Or maybe your body wants to move in different ways today. Just notice where the body is this morning. Yesterday you may have had tight hips. Today your hips feel great and your neck feels tight. That is life. So just breathe into what is life for you right now. And inhale. And an exhale. And shifting to the other side. Deep breath in. And a long breath out. Another deep breath in. And a long breath out. Deep breath in. And then exhale. Let's take ourselves into an extended child's pose. So the knees stay wide, the toes touching, reaching the palms out in front of you. If your elbows can stay off the ground, great. If not, you can rest them and place your forehead on the mat. And just breathe into your low back and your hips. Finding the silent places within. So the first step in noticing the silent places is connecting to your body. So using the breath, take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, begin to notice where your breath needs to travel inside of your body. Where does it need more attention? And then with an inhale, rounding the spine, taking the knees back about hips width distance apart. And exhale, we'll do a little child's pose flow. So coming into that upward facing dog, just feeling the body open, maybe lifting the head up. And then exhale back into child's pose. Let's do that again. Inhale, round the spine. Exhale, opening, connecting, and back. Making this a dance. Inhale, exhale, and silence. Inhale, exhale, and silence. Last time. Inhale, exhale, and curl our toes under. Downward facing dog, reaching the hips up to the sky, reaching the heels down towards the earth, and begin to feel this overall body prayer. Coming onto your tippy toes and exhaling it down, letting your head drop, feeling every piece of your body. Inhale, breathing in. Exhale. If there were a silent space inside of our bodies, where would it be right now? Exhale. Begin to shed the noise and find the silence. Exhale. And then inhale out to high plank or all fours. And exhale, bending the knees, downward facing dog. Again, inhale, round the spine. So just like we did before. Exhale, open the heart. Just a different version of cat-cow. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more breath. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, bend the knees, looking forward. And walking or floating to the front of our mats. And staying in your forward fold, you can face the front of your mat, I'll face the front. So taking your feet wide, begin to bend your knees and straighten them and just hang forward. And just let your body flow where it needs to flow right now. Let your head drop. Maybe just drop your arms. I like this pose because it feels like I'm giving up in a really good, healthy way. I imagine all the ways I control, all the noise in my head, all the ways that I try to control life. If I do this, and if I do this, and if I wash this, and if I don't take this bag into my house, then everything will be safe. And so the silent places within teach us to expand our boundaries of what is control and what we have control over. And then coming all the way up to stand. And breathe it up. Inhale, raise the hands up to the sky. Exhale, so take the feet in just a little bit. Exhale, bend the knees, let it all go. Release control. Inhale, bring in light, silence, and love. Exhale, release control. Inhale again, reach it up. And exhale, release. Inhale, coming up to center. I'm going to invite you to just move the hips around. So many of us, I've talked to so many people this week, including myself. My hips are so tight, I can barely move them. Why? Because, well, A, we're in our houses a lot. It's really important to walk and move around and maybe go to the other side. And B, because we're holding our emotions. A lot of our first chakra, this energy center right here, we're holding our stress right here. And so everything gets kind of jammed up. And, we can't use outside sources to help us with our bodies. Many of us need physical therapy. We need chiropractors. We need those things to help us feel open. And now the tools are within you. So back and forth. So whatever you need to do to open, maybe side to side, just opening the shoulders a little bit. Breathing deeply. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And then let's just shake it out. So something that I've been doing in the mornings, I think I'm going to do a video on it soon, is that I start shaking. And I've taught my 9-year-old, he won't really do it anymore, he's too old. And my older kids look at me like I'm crazy. So I'm going to invite you to shake out. And so what I do is I play really loud music almost every morning. I do meditation, I do some yoga, I exercise, and I play loud music. And I bother everybody. And I begin to shake my body. So you may feel funny doing this, but our bodies hold emotions. And the way to find our silence is to shake it out and move it out. And so just take your hands up and down. And maybe shake your head. Just let it sway. And last time, let's kind of shake our hips out. So whatever you need to do to shake your hips out, just move it around. Just get that energy flowing. Move it around. I could teach a cardio class now. Okay, so let's go back to our yoga. We're going to take a deep breath in. Let's see where we are. Inhale, raising your hands to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. You can bend your knees a lot here. Inhale when you get there, halfway lift. Hands come to the shins or the knees. Just feel the hamstrings here. Engaging the core as if I put a cup of tea on your back. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, coming to high plank pose. Inhale here. Begin to feel your high plank or you're on your all fours. And just begin traveling front and back using your core. Taking a deep breath in and a long breath out. And then inhale, downward facing dog pose. Take a deep, long breath in here. Exhale, looking forward to a high crescent lunge. So you can definitely have that left knee on the floor, or you can raise it up, the back heel is up, lifting up to the sky. Taking a deep breath, watching the shoulder blades so they roll down your back. Inhaling here, and then exhaling, hands come to the back. Take a deep breath. Come back into your silent spaces. And exhale, release. Inhale, reach it up. And exhale, release. Last time, we'll inhale here and hold our crescent lunge. Can you deepen? If your body says yes, if your body says no, you can go a little higher. So figure out where your comfort zone is. Take a deep breath here. Perhaps you take your hands behind you and clasp open your hands. Clasp your hands to open your shoulders. If you'd like, you can come into humbled pose, humbled warrior pose. So taking yourself to the inside of the right knee, letting your head fall. If you fall, that's okay too. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Taking the hands down on either side of the foot for a little twist. Inhale, reach the right hand up to the sky. You can be right here on your knees. Inhale, reach it up. Take a deep breath. Begin to twist out the noise. And a long exhale. Another deep inhale. And then exhale, bring it all the way down. You can go straight to your downward facing dog, or you can meet me in a high plank or all fours. Inhale here. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's just do a little flow again. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, bend your knees, dog. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. One more time. Inhale and exhale. Take a deep, long breath in. And then check in with yourself. Do you feel more space yet? Can you imagine traveling into those spaces to discover what's inside of your body? Take a deep breath in, inside the silent space of your heart, and take your left foot forward. A high crescent lunge. So high crescent lunge, lifting your hands up to the sky, feeling the buoyancy in your pose. So it's not a static, strong holding. It's really a flow. Breathing in, opening the heart center. Your knee can be on the floor. Exhale, hands come to the back. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, lowering it down. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, bring it all the way up. Exhale, taking your hands to your back. Maybe you clasp your hands, open the shoulder blades. Feel yourself opening to your pose. Perhaps you stay or come down into the inner thigh. Dropping the head, you can be on your knees. Taking a deep breath here, feeling your strong base. Take a long breath in. Did you stop breathing? Exhale, taking the hands down by your left toes. Feel your pose first. Settle your heart. And then maybe twist open. So left hand up. Your right knee can be on the floor. Taking a deep breath in and a long breath out. And then if you want to, because since you're in your homes, can you name the things that you're twisting out? Fear, anxiety, stress, whatever it is. And then exhale, coming down, coming back into that high plank pose or all fours. Feeling your body here. Exhale, taking your knees down, an extended child's pose and rest. Breathing deeply, inhale and exhale. Another deep breath in And a long breath out. If your silence could speak, what would it say? If your body could speak, what would it say? What are the messages of the silent spaces within? What does your body need right now in the silent spaces? Slowly come back up to all fours. We're going to come to a high plank, or you can be on all, you can take, so the choice is to come to high plank or take your right knee down and take your right toes out like a kickstand. So we're going to do a little flow here. We're going to come to side plank. So the right hand is in the middle of the mat and your left hand reaches up. So if this is too much, again, just come onto your knee and turn your body to the side. When we're here, we're going to flow with it. So I'm going to show the full pose. So standing here, we can take our hands, bring it over our head and bend our knees. So just get used to this flow. Bend the knees, hand comes over the head. Breathing deeply. Inhale and exhale. One more time on this side. Inhale and exhale. Coming back to center. You can always be here on all fours. Take a deep breath in. I'm going to turn my back to you. Exhale, side plank on the other side. So left knee on the floor, left toes out. Right hand lifts. Take a deep breath, or you're in the full pose. Inhale here. Exhale, it's hard to do against the wall. Inhale, raise your hand and lower. Bend the knees. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Last time. And exhale. Great job. Let's come to all fours. We're going to do a little shoulder opening. So it's hard for me to figure out if you can still see. I think you'll still be able to see me. Okay. Teaching online is different than teaching in a class. We're going to stay on all fours and take the right hand and lift it to the sky. Exhale, we're going to thread the needle. So take the the right hand under the left, bend the knees, bend the elbow, and take your side of the side of your head onto the mat. For the next part, you can stay right here. You can take your left hand out to the front if you'd like, or you can leave it right here, bending the elbow. If you'd like a little balance, you can take stability in your right knee and begin to play. So this is why I put my left hand on the floor. It leaves me stability. So the left knee is off the floor. My toes are pulled under. Using the core, and then just play with it. If you'd like to lift your leg up, you can. If you're saying no way, stay right here. Take a deep breath in. This is a great shoulder opening and core pose. Exhale, come back to center. I wish I could say hi to all of you, but I can't see this far away. But I'm saying hello. So let's start. Let's take our left hand, lift it up to the sky. Exhale, thread the needle. Left hand threads through the right. A little tricky. And coming down, taking the side of your head on the floor. Maybe your right fingers come to the front or bend the knee. And then begin to play with where your balance wants to go. Engaging the core will help you play with your balance. Using your breath. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale, coming up. Great. So let's come back into our downward facing dog pose. Curling the toes under. Noticing how the shoulders feel. So today, Shabbat Yoga is really an overall stretching every part of our body day. Really opening to the silent spaces within. Inhale, bend the knees, looking forward and walking or floating to the front of our mats. When we get there, your toes can touch if you like. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees, drop the hips. Let's come into a chair pose. So chair pose, I like to take the weight into my heels and lift my 10 toes. And then you can have a high chair or a low chair, depending on what you'd like. Lifting the hands to the sky, and then play with where you can feel the silent spaces and not the voice inside of you that says you're going too far. Engaging the core here. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, taking the hands to the heart center. Inhale here. I'm going to turn forward just so we can see each other. Exhale, we're going to twist to the right. So this is your pose here. If you'd like, you can stay right here. If not, you can come and take that left elbow around the right knee. Just you want to line up your knees. Breathing in and breathing out. Twisting to your ability. Imagine twisting all of the anxiety out of your body to find that beautiful crystal inside of your body, the silent spaces. So I'm going to shift back over here. Keep twisting. Take a deep breath in. We're going to lift up our left heel. Some of us are going to want to take our hands down to the mat, right? So we're going to go into a crescent lunge, a low crescent lunge, by taking your left toes back. So use your hands for stability if you need, or just go right back into it. So if you use your hands, you're going to go right back into your twist, this time taking the knee on the floor and the toes. So a deeper twist. And then breathing in. You can be right here and breathing out. This is a beautiful twist. Inhale and exhale. Slowly, everyone, take your hands on either side of that foot. Let's stretch out the hip a little bit. So you can shift your weight forward just a little bit. Feel the inner thighs stretch. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale. We're going to, I'll give you variations, stretch out the hamstrings. So you can stay right here with your toes flexed. If your knee says yes, you can sit onto your knee. Sit onto your, what is it called? Your foot. And then you can stretch forward. See where your body wants to go. It's not about jamming yourself over so you can hold your toes. Some of us will be right here. This is a perfect pose. Either way, I can really feel it in my hamstrings. So breathe wherever your body says to go. Just breathe. Inhaling and exhaling. Another deep breath in and a long breath out. Can you close your eyes for a moment? Traveling, if you can, imagine taking your breath to the center of your belly. Feeling how your stomach feels. A lot of us, I've talked to clients this week who have constipation issues, who have digestive issues. In my videos before where I've taught yoga this past week or so, I've done some poses to help alleviate stomach issues because so many of us are holding there. So breathe into those spaces inside your belly. And then exhale, we're going to scoot back over into that low crescent lunge. And we're going to come into a downward facing dog. You can go straight to your dog, or you can curl your back toes under and lift your right leg to the sky, dancing your downward facing dog. It's up to you. Child's pose is your option. Take the left knee off the floor. Use your core
So watch how I just engaged my core first. Then I lifted my right leg up. You can open up the hip by bending the knee, or you can be on all fours and just lift your leg. Take a deep breath in, and exhale, bring that one down. Take a deep, long inhale. Exhale, looking forward, bending the knees, and walking towards the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bend the knees, drop the hips. Chair pose on the other side. So again, shift the weight into your heels. Lift the 10 toes. Feel it first, the shift. Then lifting. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, taking the hands to the heart center. And then staying here, we're twisting to the left this time. So again, decide how you want to twist. If you're coming into the full twist, just set up your knees, look down at your knees, and then twisting out and breathing in and breathing out. A nice, long, deep breath. Can you sit a little bit deeper? Inhale and exhale. So begin to lift your right leg. Some of us will take our hands to the floor. So maybe you're right here or stay in your twist. If you're right here, all of us will take our right leg back and then take your knee on the floor. And then you can come back into your twist. It doesn't matter which one you do. So some of us will be right here in a gentle twist. Sink into the hips, opening, feeling, and breathing. Inhale and exhale. Another deep breath in and exhale. Coming down, taking both hands on either side of the foot, and then shifting the weight forward just slightly. Just opening those inner thighs. And then exhale, coming into your hamstring stretch. So where is your body right now, especially on this side, because both sides are different, right? So maybe you sit down if your knee says okay, and begin to play with how far or not that you go. Take a deep, long breath in and a long breath out. Deep breath in and a long breath out. Closing the eyes for a moment. Sitting in the silent spaces. Cultivating your awareness. Slowing your breath. And finding your center. And then slowly, when you're ready, we'll shift forward back into that low crescent lunge. So just like we did on the other side, we're going to take our right knee off the floor. You're going to either come into all fours or down dog, or you can use your core and lift the left leg first. Can you feel your core engage? And then, I have a tree in my way, but then lift your left leg up to the sky. Maybe you open up your hip, breathing deeply, and exhale down. And maybe let's take a sigh together, just an open mouth exhale, releasing sound from our voices, from our core. Inhale. Okay, a little louder this time. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale, looking forward and walking towards the front of your mat. When you get there, let's roll up to stand one vertebrae at a time. Just bend the knees and roll up to stand. Finding mountain pose, Tadasana. Opening the palms, feeling again the breath travel all the way down into the core
of the earth, grounding you, settling you, finding the silent spaces within. We'll just take a moment in silence as we travel to our balancing poses. Beautiful. So let's work on the hips a little bit. I'm going to give you a choice. You can always use the wall. If you would like to follow me, you can. If not, you can. If you know tree pose, you can go into tree pose. This pose is a little bit more challenging for the hips. So we're going to inhale, and so the choice is to come into, you can take your toes right here at your shins, or you can come in to the inner part of your thigh and do tree pose, or I sometimes like to take my foot up against my left thigh and really begin to stand tall here. And the key to this pose is the core, the heart opening, and the engagement of the left leg. Roots of a tree all the way down. So then I like to play with it. Sometimes I can't do this. It depends on my balance. When I do this, I'm usually in a very hot yoga class and it works for me. Now my leg is slipping down. So I'm going to hold my leg and I'm going to take a half heart. If for those of you that your leg is not slipping, you can take both hands to your heart, or you can take your hand to a tree. Wherever you are is where you're supposed to be. And then exhale, coming down. Shaking it out. And let's go on to the next side. So let's come in and either your tree or taking your left toes over your right thigh. So it should be an automatic shift into the core, open the heart, engage the entire thigh on the right side, and feel the left hip begin to open. And then maybe take your hand to your heart or both hands. And breathe, inhaling and exhaling. Perhaps you come out. Inhale and exhale and down to center and shake it out. I just want to see who's here so I can say hi. Hi, Gail. Hi, Lisa. Connie, Barbara, Andrea, Jen. What else did I miss? Hi, Softa. Okay. So I usually teach in a class, so I always like to talk to my students and see how everybody's feeling. So this is a new challenge. So I love your comments. I would love it now or after class. You can always email me or text me or get in touch with me and just let me know what you want in a class. Let me know what you're looking for. Let me know what you're struggling with, and I will teach to you, to what you need. So let's come into half pigeon. I'm going to invite you, if your hips are tight or your knees say no, you can come onto your back to a more gentle half pigeon. So my half pigeon people, and then I'll teach to the other one. My half pigeon people, we're going to come into a downward facing dog, and you're going to take your right toes on the floor and your entire shin. So your knee is bent, your body is in one long line. If you're not able to do this pose, come onto your back and take your knees into your chest, and I will be there in one moment. Okay, so here in half pigeon, you are in one long line. So if you're hipping off, you're not in the pose. You want to come up on top of your body here and feel the foot flex, and then come down. Perhaps you stay here or come down to the elbows or take your hands on the floor. For my friends that are lying down on their backs, we can take our right foot over our left, lifting our legs up and holding onto the back of the left thigh. This is just as good as the other one. It doesn't matter what you do. Take a deep breath in and begin to feel your center. Take a long breath in. Feel the center of your stillness. So the question I have for your body is, what happens when you become still? So So sometimes what happens is the negative voices in our head begin to chatter, telling us stories that are old and untrue. And so when we can weed those out and you can stay with them and you listen to them, invite them, instead of pushing them away, invite them here. As if you're inviting a friend to tea. And watch as they disappear once they know that they're invited. And then going into a deeper layer of your silence. As perhaps old wounds come up, fears, deep embedded fears arise. And so we'll continue this small meditation on the next side. If you're on your back, you can take your knees into your chest and go to the next side. If you're in half pigeon and you want to stretch it out a bit, you can bend your elbows and just kind of roll up and down, stretching out your entire center of your core and your shoulders. Inhale and exhale. And then for those of us on our back, just switching sides, for those of us in half pigeon, we're going to lift up and take our right leg back into downward dog and walk out your dog a little bit to stretch it. And let's go to the next side. So left side, you're bending your knee and you're taking your body onto the mat, flexing the toes, noticing the difference between one side and the other again. So breathing here. The key to this pose is if you need more, take your toes and scoot them forward. You're going to feel it. If you need less, take your toes and scoot them towards your body. Coming onto one line and then coming down or staying up and closing your eyes and breathing. This pose is known to make yogis cry. So crying is totally acceptable. Breathing in and begin to feel again as we travel through our negative thoughts. Perhaps we've traveled down to the level of fears, of old wounds that trigger us still. And begin to travel down into the next layer of your body, of your soul, and just see what's present for you. If you couldn't feel the fear, if you couldn't hear the noise, what is here for you? So look at the pictures in your mind. In the picture of my mind that showed me my next level, I see a bird. And the bird is symbolic for me because it's my grandmother who just passed. And whenever I see a certain bird, it reminds me of my grandmother. So this bird just came to my mind. So that's your guidance system. Come all the way up. If you're on your back, you can take your knees to your chest. And then bend your elbows and roll up. Finding the silent spaces allow us to find our guidance system. We all have deep intuition. We just need to get quiet enough to find it. And then coming into downward facing dog and stretching it out. If you're on your knees, we'll meet you, or if you're on your back, we'll meet you there in one moment. I don't do a lot of floor poses because it's hard to see me on the floor. So I'm going to invite you to come onto your back and everyone bring your knees into your chest. So just bringing your knees into your chest, rocking side to side, and really hold on to your elbows. So can you get your hands around your elbows and then rock side to side? This is really good, I've mentioned before, for digestion. For those of us that are holding our stress there. For our final pose, for the sake of time, I'm going to invite you to a more meditative pose. So it's a reclined butterfly pose. If there's another pose in you,
feel free to do it. Otherwise, lying on the floor, or you can do this seated, you can take your knees open. If you have pillows, you can put them under your knees. And taking your soles of your feet together, taking one hand to the belly and one hand to the heart center. I'm going to sit up just for the sake of being able to see me. But lying down or seated, just take a deep breath and a long breath out. Closing the eyes and allow the thinking mind to release. And as we close our eyes and come into our final resting pose, Shavasana, I invite you to take your hands wherever they're comfortable. Lying down, if you'd like, you can also sit up. And begin to come into your silent spaces. Begin to travel inside of your body. And perhaps you bring a guide or mentor with you to travel inside of your body. A mentor is someone, something, an animal, anything that makes you feel safe right now. It doesn't matter. Whatever comes to your mind first is your safe thing, being. And so as you and your mentor travel inside and journey inside of your body, I'll invite you to go to a space inside of your body where your intuition resides, wherever it is for you. And as you travel into this space, begin to notice the colors and the textures and the feelings that are in here. Begin to notice how quiet it is once we've moved our bodies and released the chatter and the fears and the negativity and the anxiety. Imagine this beautiful space in all of its colors or not, getting bigger and bigger and growing deeper inside of your body so that eventually it fills your entire being with silence, intuition, and your divine guidance. And if this place had a message for you as to how to go on with life and move forward, what would be here for you now? The first thing that comes to your head. And hold it here with you as you sit for just a moment in your silent Shavasana. Begin to wiggle your toes and your fingers, perhaps coming slowly into a comfortable seated position in any way that you like. And we'll end, as I always do on Shabbat Yoga, with Oseh Shalom, bringing peace from our bodies, our souls out into the world, creating more light, love, and peace. Oseh Shalom Bimroma, Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ve'im
shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Taking our hands to the center of our divine intuition. Namaste, everyone. Shabbat shalom. Thank you so much for those of you that attended Shabbat Yoga. I ask you to share it with those that are in need, those that want a peaceful, soulful yoga. I am providing healing experiences all week long. I've been doing it for about a week and a half now, and it will just continue. So check out mysoulcentered.org or our Facebook page or group. And I think that tomorrow night, Sunday night, I will be teaching yoga again. We are working on the chakras in our bodies, and then we will go on to more themes. I also offer meditations to help you center your soul. And in addition, I will be starting to offer healing experiences. So tangible tools to check in and discover how you can find your own answers and your own intuition, because it's so hard for so many of us. It took me years to believe in my healing abilities and the energy inside of me and my deep intuition. And I am here to help others discover that and to become their own healers. And so especially during this time when we can't really reach out physically, we can really reach in and then help others. So I encourage you to stay tuned. Please email me or private message me if you have any needs or ideas or something you are looking for. I will help provide it. And namaste. Have a beautiful Shabbat, and I will speak to you soon. Bye.